Hello. Thank you for joining. Let's see, I wrote in my notes. Alrighty. Alright. Nothing's wrong. Just waiting for a few more folks to join in so I can get started. Thanks for asking. Alrighty. Let's see. Yes, I am. Okay. Everything is good. All right. I see Renise. I see Kev. Hey, Kev. Hey, Kels. What's up? What's up? Thank you for joining tonight. All right. So I'm just going to give it a few. I am very happy. Thank you, though. Thanks for your concern. Hey, Will. Just waiting for a few folks to join in so that we can get started. And we have everything in place now. So, hopefully I see Leslie on here too. Okay. All right. So, I'm excited for tonight because we have two amazing women who are filled with just so much knowledge, so much great energy also. I've had, thank you. I've had an opportunity to chat with both of them individually, and just our conversations were super amazing. And they are definitely women who I'm inspired by and who I definitely want to continue conversations of growth with. So I'm so excited to have them tonight here. Thank you guys. I'm so excited to have them here tonight. Coaching week 4 of our 7-week entrepreneurship program, and this week we're going to talk about public speaking. And public speaking is a super important topic for me because I wasn't always the most courageous person in speaking in public and speaking to people and like conveying my message and things like that. So until one day I took like a leap of faith and I started this podcast, thanks to Kev, who's online. And, the more I did it, the more I got comfortable speaking and the better my communication skills got. So I know how super important it is to be an effective speaker, especially because once you start a business, once you launch your brand, even if you're someone who doesn't want to be in the public eye and you want the brand and the business to lead instead of you, at some point, people are still going to seek you so you can talk to them about how you started your business and things like that, so it's inevitable. So it's really great to practice. It's really great to get some coaching on speaking. So this is why we're here tonight, and I'm so excited. And for those who don't know, I'm Sue Fearless, and this is also an extension to my podcast, The Fearless Show, which will be coming on a bunch of platforms very soon. I'll share all of that with you guys. I've been working on some amazing things, but tonight we are going to be focused on public speaking. And without further ado, I am going to ask one of our first guests today to come in and introduce herself. So give me 1 second. I just sent Renise a request, so hopefully she can pop in. Yay!
I did it! Like my grandson says, I did it!
Yes, you did it! I'm so excited. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the platform and for providing just a little snippet of all of the amazing things that you work on, all of your amazing, sharing with us all of your amazing accomplishments, and providing to us, some helpful tips on how we can be effective speakers and tap into our inner selves. I know you and I had a great conversation about that. And, I want you to share some of that amazing energy and magic with everyone that's on tonight. So without further ado, I want you to introduce yourself and let everyone know who you are and what your background is, and then we'll get started.
Okay. And I just want to start by saying thank you for having me and helping me get over that technological glitch.
Yes.
I'm caught red-handed. I know nothing about social media.
It's okay.
But we're here now. So
Yes.
my name is Renise Gillespie, and I am a Master Transformation Coach. And my business, MAXIE Media Group, I partner with Leslie MAXIE, who you're going to have on shortly. Background and I'm a coach. I simply sit with people and help people figure out where they're at, figure out where they want to be, and help them bridge that gap. A transformational coach is a little different than a life coach in that we help you bridge the gap, not necessarily by removing obstacles on the outside, but by removing the obstacles right up in here. And working with people like yourself who have accomplished so much and then come to the speaker space, what we're finding is a lot of what help or where you find yourself stuck is because of what's right up in here. And so we work with people first in what we call mindset to help you align your thoughts, your actions, and your beliefs with what you say you want. And subsequently, so we really help you to align yourself from an energetic standpoint and from a actionable standpoint, what you're doing and who you're being. Help you line that up with what you say you want. And the people we work with, they have a message, they have been given a gift that they are kicking and screaming to get out to the world. And it's our gift to be able to help them to do that. So, is that good? Is that what you wanted to hear? Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, it's like it's let me see. It's breaking up a little.
I don't know.
Yeah, it may be on your end. It's freezing up a little bit. Can you guys hear me? I want to know if it's myself or if it's Renise. Can you guys hear me? Leslie, can you hear me? Okay. I lost Renise, but we're here. I'm pretty sure she's going to come right back. That's how it is with technology. Okay. She sent me a request. Let me let her back in. Hold on one second. And yes, Will, you're right. This is like perfect timing. Definitely reach out. Okay. All right. Thanks to everyone that's joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a pen and paper and you're taking notes like I am.
I apologize.
Yes, the internet is okay.
Yes, yes. So I'm back. And again, I was wondering why you weren't responding. So apparently you couldn't hear me. Good now? Are we good now? Can you hear me?
I think so. Hopefully. You're breaking up a little bit.
Not sure why. I don't know what the problem is.
Okay, do you see me clearly?
I see you clearly. Can you hear me?
Okay, so yeah, it's definitely could be on your end.
Well, I'm not sure what to do. Do you have any suggestions?
Maybe try moving to an area with better with better reception?
I am sitting right next to the Wi-Fi, the router. I'm sitting right next to it, so I'm not sure where to go. Hold on. Maybe
Sorry
that will
about that,
help.
guys.
And I apologize as well. Maybe this will help. Can you hear me a little better? You can't hear me at all. Hmm.
Okay, I can see you now. But yeah, it's still breaking up a little bit. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, but it's still breaking up a little bit. I'm not sure why.
I don't know why either. I'm
Is your
sitting
phone
right next to the router.
Is your phone on Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the Wi-Fi is
Maybe.
on. I just checked it.
Okay. Do you want to try maybe taking it off Wi-Fi? Sometimes the Wi-Fi is so nutty.
Let me try that.
Hi, Sylvette. Yes, we're trying to see if
I just turned the Wi-Fi off.
Wi-Fi
Can you hear me?
better.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you're still a bit blurry and breaking up. Yeah.
Maybe you should go to Leslie, and I think she'll be able to. Can you? You can't. You still can't hear me.
Okay. Let's. Yeah, because I can hear you, but it's just breaking up. Yeah, let's definitely try that, and then we can bring you back in.
Okay.
Okay. All righty.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. All right, guys. Sorry about that. You know how it is. The internet could be wacky sometimes. So we are gonna bring Leslie in, who is partners with Renise, and she can kind of piggyback on the conversation and pick up where we left off. So just give me 1 second so I can request her.
Hey there, Sue.
Hi, Leslie. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Technology is great until it's not.
Until it's not. I know. This is I'm so upset. I'm trying. No.
Am I coming through
Yeah.
clear to you?
Can
Am
you
I
see me
coming through clear
clearly?
to you? I can. Can you see me clearly?
I see you a little blurry, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right near the router
But
too.
but nonetheless, yeah, nonetheless, we can hear you though. We can hear you. So so everyone, this is Leslie Maxie, and she's the founder of MAXIE Media Group, and she's in partnership with Renise, also a really amazing coach. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself and all of her accolades, and then we'll get into conversation. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's the great thing about having partners. We're both supporting each other. They're making it happen, really making it happen. So I'm glad to be here, Sue. So wonderful to get a chance to connect with you. I think we connected first in the beginning of the pandemic, and now all these months later, getting a chance to really share some of the conversations that we've had. My background, so I am a 1988 Olympian in track and field. I was a 400 hurdler way back in the day. I was 10 in 1988. But
you are young and beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Many moons ago, but I have been in the media space since I was 9 years old. I actually started modeling when I was 5 and started in television when I was 9, and have worked for NBC, ABC, ESPN, Fox. I'm from California, born in San Francisco. I went to USC for college and came out to the East Coast with a show for ESPN. They started the show in Manhattan, and 3 years into it, realized that Manhattan is really expensive.
Yes.
And decided to move up to Bristol. But the schools in New Jersey were so good, and my kids were young at the time, so I made a decision to stay, and as most entrepreneurs know, figure it out.
Right.
So, been figuring it out, but I feel so blessed to be at this point in my life and having an opportunity to bring together the different things that I've done in media. I was an international correspondent for Red Bull, chosen by Dietrich Mateschitz, the owner of Red Bull, and I worked for NASCAR, running the Northeast part of the United States, PR and marketing, and worked for Baltimore Orioles and Special Olympics in my first professional experiences. But doing this, you know, after all those years in front of the camera, behind the camera, creating content, and knowing that there was always a little part of me that wanted people to win no matter what was going on in the interview. You know, say what you want to say, but say it well.
Right.
So yeah, it's always been, it's been a love of mine. And for Renise and I to partner, and really we had an opportunity to relaunch the business. You know, I had been in business for a while, doing more one-on-one coaching and media activation, but when Renise and I joined hands, and really mission and vision around the work that we're doing, we relaunched MAXIE Media Group because it was a name that was known, but it's a whole different approach than, you know, what I had done in the past with media training and speaker coaching. So I feel so blessed to be in this space right now, and knowing that we're offering something that people can't get place else. You know, what we're offering are the 3 disciplines that you need for speaking, and Renise being a master transformation coach. Oh my gosh! I mean, and then how she's come to branding and profile building and platform building, all of those things. I mean, she's been an incredible talent, and I feel so blessed for us to be together.
That is so amazing to hear. You know, I always say that, you know, like having like a partnership, having team members is absolutely amazing, because, you know, you can't do it all. And
or you're gonna die trying.
Right. Even though we try, you know, we become like Renise and learn the whole spectrum of the business. But it's so great to work together, because you get to pick from each other's brains and kind of like formulate that amazing, you know, that amazing thing that you know that you're providing others. So I'm curious to know, like, what's your relationship with Renise? Were you longtime friends?
No. So her best friend is a consultant as well, and we met at one of the Viacom networks. And the first time we met, I was like, "This woman is in my heart forever." And so I had an illness and was on my back almost for a year, and that's when you get to understand you're either a lifestyle business or an actual scalable business. Mine was very lifestyle. And so when I wasn't there to push it forward, you know, it really stagnated. So I reached out to Maria in conversation and just saying, you know, hey, I need something, you know, I need something that can allow me to scale the work and take it from one-on-one to one-to-many. And, you know, of Renise's many talents, she is very operationally minded. You know, she knows the structure of business. And so she brought that as well as her transformation certification. And it's just been an incredible, incredible ride. I'll give you a quick story. We had been working together probably maybe 2-3 months or so. She was up in New Jersey visiting and staying at my house for a couple of days. And at one point she said something about her birthday, blah, 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 January 4th. And I'm like, my birthday's January 4th. She's like, no way. So she calls upstairs to my husband. She's like, don't you say a word. She goes, Philip, when's Leslie's birthday? And he goes, January 4th? She goes, oh my God. So yes, blessing and a curse, because if you know Capricorns, you know that we have a very distinct way of doing things. Yes. And so the thing that I never have to worry about is she bringing her A game? Is she bringing everything to bear that she has? And I know that she is. And I know that I am. Those are the things that allowed me to achieve the things that I have in my life. And the same for her. So it's been an incredible spiritual experience in some ways, because there are no accidents, not a one. And for us to have our birthdays on the same day, she's 3 years younger than me, but for us to share the same birth date, girl, it is more than an ocean.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, guess what? I have like a little amazing surprise that you didn't know. I'm January 7th.
You're January 7th?
Yes.
Yes. I collect Capricorns. Like,
yes,
literally all of my best
friends
are Capricorns.
It's so amazing when it's so amazing when I was talking to Renise the other day on our Zoom call. Something prompted us to go into that for some reason, and she was like, "Wait a second, when is your birthday?" And I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!"
Yeah,
so that's why there's an instant connection. Absolutely. Yeah. Shout out to all the Capricorns.
Oh yeah.
So that's so lovely. You know, God bless both of your relationship, your partnership, everything. I love that. I love that so much. So I want to go back to your days of being an athlete. Mm-hmm. And I want you to talk a little bit about that and how that connects with the work that you're doing now.
Sure. Well, you know, I started running really young, and I actually, this is a crazy story. I did the last interview with Jesse Owens before he passed away when I was 13 years old. And so it's always been a part of me. And as an athlete, you're the subject of interviews. But because I had that reporter background, it helped me to really position myself to know when you answer a question, answer it in a complete sentence so that they don't necessarily have to use the bite from the reporter. All of those things come to bear when, especially if I'm media training someone. So if I'm media training someone and they're either an athlete or an activist or an executive that has, you know, someone's going to be doing a story on them, to really walk them through what the expectation is when you are the reporter coming to the conversation and what the expectation is when you are the subject coming to the conversation. And like a lot of times when I'm working with football players, one of the things that we really settle on is the energy that you bring. And it was so great when Renise and I connected, because that is a big part of what she does. And I always knew that it influenced it, but to really be able to be prescriptive about it and have her say, oh yeah, it's not just something that you thought, here is the science behind it. And the energy that you bring to an interview, if you think that a reporter is going to try and paint you into a corner and make you look bad, guess what? They're going to smell blood in the water. You know? So all those things are really important and help you to position yourself as best as you possibly can. And I feel like because we bring these different skill sets from our background, it really does help us to not only put together programs that resonate with our clients, but when something happens in the moment and you have to call on that experience, you got someplace to go. It's not just like,
Right.
well, this is not great. You know, you actually have something to share with them, and you can share it in a way that allows them to apply it to what they need to do to move themselves forward in that particular moment. So we feel like that's a blessing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, so I'm a Capricorn as well. So for me, I was having this conversation with Renise, and I was letting her know that I use the word introverted. And she really didn't like that much. Because she feels like that's not a way to describe a person. That's not really like a characteristic trait. That's more like you like your safe space. You like to be out socialized, but then you like your private, alone space, which that makes a lot of sense for me. So I won't be using that word too much anymore, but I wonder if when you were younger as an athlete, if some triggers led you to want to learn more about effectively speaking and things like that, because when you're very young, you're not used to answering and questions in interviews and things like that. So I wonder if that was one of the triggers for you.
It is in a way, and I'd say I'd actually fast forward it to when I was a young reporter as an adult, not as a kid, but as an adult, and interviewing people and listening to them, knowing that I needed to and I wanted to engage them in conversation, not too much, but enough conversation that I had a sense of their speaking acumen. Did they have the ability to really bring it? And was there something that I could do to help them be better in that moment without giving them too much that they get up in their head, And so there were times when I would interview someone when they were a freshman in college. And then I'd interview them again when they were a senior in college or when they graduated and went on to their professional careers. And to see the progress that some of them made, I was like, okay, I know there are some things that I believe are possible, but I'm seeing absolute proof in the pudding, and how can I be a part of that? When I was on the show for ESPN, there was a Super Bowl champion who was one of the contributors, and he said, look, I want to do what you're doing. I want to anchor, I want to host, I want all these things I want to do. He said, but I have to enter the space as a Super Bowl champion. He said, so I can't go to Huntsville, Alabama, which I did when I was in my early 30s. Went to Huntsville, Alabama, did an internship as a grown person so that I could get that additional experience and figure out if I still really loved television. But he said, I don't have space to do that, and everything lives on the internet. He said, so I need for you to look at the skills that are necessary for me to be successful as an anchor, to be successful as a host, to be successful as an on-field reporter. And those are very different skills. Yes, some of them do overlap, but some of them are very different. What do you need to do to be successful when you're standing up, holding the room as a speaker? Some overlapping skills, yet some are really different. And so he caused me to take a step back and look very critically at what I had done to get to where I was and how my athletic life very much played into that. And what does that look like from a coaching perspective? I'm not the best coach in the world.
You are.
I'm not the best coach, because for me, a lot of things are intuitive. And that's one thing that I'm really, really learning. Well, one of many things that I'm really learning from Renise, because she is a coach. She's very much, give you a little bit, tease it out of you. She'll let you come to the answer. A lot of times I'm like, don't you just get it? And that's not how you coach. That's how you browbeat. And so it really has been great to see someone who is not just certified, but a master transformation coach. and what she can do, and even her growth in the work that she's doing. It's a beautiful thing to see, and a way for me to continue to grow in the part of the business where I thrive.
Right. I can't agree with you. So I agree with you so much. Renise definitely has that ability to bring out the conversation out of you and feel comfortable in sharing, you know, what you're feeling. So I absolutely agree with you. But I will also say this: my conversation with you also was really excellent, and you also have such a gentle way and such a soothing way to, you know, to coach the people you work with. So you got it as well.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about why do you think that speaking is so critical to entrepreneurs? Let's get into the nitty gritty.
Well, I mean, anytime you can, my grandmother used to say, nobody can tell it like you can. Okay. So anytime you have the opportunity to share your work, be it a product or a service or, you know, something else that we hadn't even thought of yet. But when you have the opportunity to share that, that is a sacred space. It's a sacred space between you and whomever you're speaking with. If you are actually standing up in front of hundreds or thousands of people holding the room, it is still a really intimate experience because people have taken the time to give you their resource. Time is money. Okay. So what are you going to do with it? So that is a really important thing. And for entrepreneurs, anytime we get that space, we have to be prepared to go. You have to have that what is it, 90-second elevator speech, and actually I'd say probably it's closer to 30 seconds. You have to have a 5-minute speech that you can talk about your business where you're really kind of giving bullet points. You have to be able to blow that out into a 20-minute speech where you're talking with more stories, and then you actually need to be able to do it in 40 minutes. If I gave you 40 minutes to talk about your business and your journey, Sue, what would that look like? And I don't want that, but the hardest conversation should happen with us behind the scenes so that when you get out there and take your stage, not anybody else's stage, your stage, it's done so in a way that represents the years and years of work and toil and time that you've put into it. And so that's why it's important for entrepreneurs. We need to be able to leverage the work that we've done, and a speaking stage is a great, great place to do that. And we're called to do it now. Everybody's doing it on Zoom and Instagram.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Yes, I mean, these are the times that we're in now, right? Technology.
Times.
You know, we just like a sidebar, like we've been pushed to pivot. We didn't even decide that on our own. You know, we were pushed to pivot. So while technology could be a little iffy sometimes, you know, like happened earlier and things like that, it's still so very important, you know, because it is now connecting people from all different places in the country, all around the world. You know, you're in another state, I'm here in New York, you know, so it's an amazing thing when it's used properly, right?
Yeah.
So you said some great things. I want to ask you about go-to tips for new speakers, but you mentioned some great things about the breakdown of a conversation when you're on stage. So you said first you have to have your 30-second elevator pitch, and then your 5-minute. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. So the way we approach it, you know, people say keynote speech and everybody flips out. Oh my God, I gotta do a keynote. Girl, it's a talk. It is a talk. It's an intimate discussion between you and your audience. Okay. And you get to draw them into that. And the way that we coach, we want to make sure that any subject you're talking about, if it's your platform, that you're able to speak about it coherently for 40 minutes. You're sharing stories, you're sharing facts. At the end, you're giving a call to action that is going to be a framework to change their lives. That framework is Miss Renise Gillespie. So you're giving them this information in a format that any event planner can work around. So you could take that 40 minutes and you could do a 20-minute Q&A afterwards, or you could do a little bit less. You could do something that requires you to work with the audience in a workshop kind of format. There's a lot of different ways that it can be sliced and diced, but if you start with that as your foundation, you can do almost any speaking gig.
Right.
And then from there, to be able to edit it down. So you might think that it's easier to take a short amount of time and just add more stories and make it longer. But it's actually more difficult to take a longer speech and make it shorter, because all those stories are your babies.
Yes.
And you never tell one of your babies that ugly and not going to get to go, you know?
Yes.
It becomes really, really important. And to figure out what things actually serve the story arc and what things do you actually need to have in that speech to move it forward. And some things may, they may have to get left by the wayside, but hey, that's where the editing skills come in.
Yes.
But yeah, so to be able to do it in 40-minute, 20-minute, 5-minute chunks, and then you can take just those little quick bullet points and talk to somebody at a cocktail party. We have so many opportunities to meet people, and even on Zoom. People are figuring out networking on Zoom. I came to a thing the other day and it had people from around the world. Everybody had very, very different pursuits, but all really high achievers. And we just talked about our background. And as I'm listening to people talk, the way my brain works, I was like, oh my God, a collaboration there. Oh my God, collaboration there. All of these things work for us, And so it's coming to the space knowing what you're going to share, having given yourself time. One of the things that I know Renise was going to talk about was first mindset. We start with mindset because if you are not in the right frame of mind, the chances that you'll be able to hit all of the marks to get you around the bases go down. So we want to make sure that you come in the right frame of mind. And that is critically important. Even when you're coming to things like this, to give yourself a moment before you log on to get clear, to get centered, to be present to your truth, because you never know who you're going to touch. You never know. And every moment is just that important.
That is, oh my God, that was a word right there.
Well,
definitely take a moment, take a breather, and come and be present. That's something that a lot of us do not do. Especially here in New York City, we live a very fast-paced life. So we kind of go from one thing to another all day, every day, for 7 days a week. Like, we barely have time to rest. I remember us last night talking, and I was like, I just got off another Zoom. I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I tried to fit in a gym schedule, jumped on the Zoom, got home, and had a conversation with you ladies. So definitely it is super important, especially before a major speech or a major presentation, to take a moment to yourself, maybe do a little meditation and get your mindset together. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And you said something about breaking down. You said something about people thinking that making or creating or putting together the longer speech is the issue. The issue is breaking it down. That is so completely 100% true. I'm actually working on a project now that involves a lot of emotion that I have to put into it as well, which makes it even worse. So when they told me that it was like 2,500 words, I was like, 2,500 words? Like, what am I need to put more than that, but it's 2,500 words. So you're absolutely right about that. It is definitely harder to shorten what you're going to say, because as you said, we feel so strongly and passionate about all of the things that led us to the point where we're at today. All of the struggles we had to face to launch this business and continue to be successful. So that's definitely something that that folks need to think about is what is the context of the event that you're attending, that you're going to speak at, and circle your conversation around that.
Absolutely. And I just want to add something, and not for nothing, I'm taking a little bit of a liberty saying that it's easier to cut it down than it is to build it. Building a speech it's both science and art. There's a construct that you use, and then you infuse it with your passion, with your heart, with your experience. But it starts with a very specific outline. And one of the things that coming into the pandemic, we talked about people working online and how that was such a new thing. It wasn't really new for us. We have clients around the world, so we're deploying our curriculum online. We had been doing it online for the last couple of years. And so to be able to kind of seamlessly flow into that space was really helpful for us, and really helpful for a lot of our clients. Some people saw this as a distinct opportunity. They saw this as an opportunity when things are shut down, people can't go. You do have to be still, even if you're still watching Netflix. You do have to be still, and the ability to look and say strategically, what am I going to do with this time, so that when we do open back up, I am ready to hit the ground running. And forget waiting until we open back up. I'm actually marketing myself for that day when it opens up. So people are still speaking online, and they're getting paid to do so. And they're booking speeches that may be in person and may be virtual. And the more we're learning, especially with this second wave coming, we're seeing that it may be a little bit longer than what we anticipated. And woe to us if we had this much landscape and didn't figure out how we could make our business 2.0. And speaking is a great way for entrepreneurs to do that. We did a webinar for the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee right before the end of last year. So it was maybe November of 2019. And at that time, I think they've had more popular ones since, but at that time, it became the most popular webinar that they've done. And athletes started reaching out to us, and they said, look, we've got to continue this work. And we had a plan together with ACE, Athlete Career Education at the USOPC, to be able to do speaker training and be their speaker agency moving forward. Then the pandemic happened. And the beautiful thing is that the athletes were so touched by the work that they continued to reach out. And so one of our offerings that we now have is the Signature Talk Template virtual retreat, where we're literally doing the work that we would do in the room with them online. And because we already had the platform and we already had the hosting area, it's so seamless. And so it's allowed us to create space for entrepreneurs that are looking to level up their speaking, for activists who are looking to broaden their audience, for athletes, for executives, for people that have a big story that cannot be maintained. It can't be contained. That's what this is for. So Signature Talk Template virtual retreat, don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Yes.
I make it sound like it's easy, and it's not hard. It just takes diligent work. The difference between hard work and diligent work is diligent work, there's a level of joy and enjoyment, because not only do you see yourself progressing, but you know that what you're getting ready to share with someone not can change their life, will change their life. Once you give it out, it's not yours anymore.
Right. I mean, I agree. As you're speaking, I'm thinking about, you do have to be diligent. Once you take on, any type of program online, you have to have self-discipline, you have to have focus, and I wanted to ask you, like, it's amazing because, we're connecting with so many people, and it's so accessible now, and we can take out time during the day, to go online and have these conversations with our coaches. But for people who aren't the most confident, or who have already been, kind of struggling with that, do you think it hinders them that now the sessions aren't in person and maybe they can't do a practice speech in person? How have you had any of those issues come up?
Does it hinder someone that's shy or
Right.
reserved?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's because like for example for me like I was so happy. I was like, yes, things are virtual now, so I can stay home more, you know, because I like to interact in person, but I'm not the most, like I mentioned before, like I'm not the most talkative on the phone and things
Mhm.
like that, you know, so it was exciting for me to become a little bit of a hermit. So then I was like, wait, I have to push myself out of my shell again, you know, out of my comfort zone because I didn't want to get comfortable in that space. You know, I want to continue to grow. So have you encountered anyone that has expressed that to you?
Well, you know, it's funny. They say that 75% of society worldwide abhors public speaking. It's called glossophobia. And if there is something that we can all agree on, that they hate speaking more than spiders, death, and taxes. Okay. So if there's something that we can all agree on, we all come in, you know, different packages, but we have one thing in common between the right ear and the left ear. And that's the secret sauce. It's mindset. So if you have done the mindset work, if you have engaged with a coach like Renise, who is, she's gifted. She's gifted. The ability to get from where you are to where you want to be, where you say you want to be, is all within us. It's absolutely all within us. And so there are some people who absolutely thrive online and some people who thrive more in person. But our circumstance is what it is. And so, how can we help you to not just get prepared for your 2.0 of your business, but how can we help you to maximize, grow what you're doing right now? That's what we're here for. That's what's up. And so we really try and both be in the moment, in the skill of what you need, the mindset, the method, the monetization, because once you've done all those things, we want to make sure you get paid, pretty girl.
Yes.
So, you know, do those things and then make the adjustment for when you're doing it out in the world. But it starts with you. And that's why we call it the speaker in you. We all have one in us. And it checks one of the most basic needs in all of the world that we all share, the need to know and to be known.
Yes.
That's why speaking counts.
Yes, absolutely. That is so true. So let's talk about mindset, method, and monetization. What does the MMG method discipline cover?
The MMG method discipline covers your branding. And not just your branding of, oh, you know, I'm wearing this little turtleneck, da da da, whatever. It's really, who are you? Who are you? What is your secret sauce? What are you bringing to the conversation that makes you uniquely you? And really to unearth that for you. You know, who are your brand heroes? And what do those people stand for? And then for you, what do you stand for? Because if you're not completely clear about who you are and what your brand is, the chances that you'll be able to create and deliver a transformational speech, because it'll miss that authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's important. And then the method side also goes into verbal crutches and things that we do that we can eliminate in our speech pattern that just help us to convey our message more confidently and more completely. So all of those things, your enunciation, your ability to really articulate what it is you're trying to say in a manner that people will be able to connect to, understand, and move forward with that message. So everything that we can do to eliminate someone's ability to really connect with you, we want to make sure that's gone. We want to make sure that the authentic speaker in you is able to come out and shine and have her day in the sun, right?
Yes. Absolutely. So you have to connect with your purpose.
Yeah,
You have to
you have
connect
to
with your
connect with your
mission.
purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. And that
Absolutely.
helps you to build a platform that you can stand on for years and years to come. You know, you talked about something that you're writing right now that's emotional. And I would offer that when there has to be emotion in what we're sharing. There has to be that that part of you that you are connected to, that you're giving to the person that you're speaking to or the group that you're speaking
Right.
to. But sometimes if you're very, very emotional about something, and even though you know eventually that will be a platform on which you'll stand, you may not be ready to do it. And that's okay too, because there may still be some processing. Speaking is a very personal thing. It's birthed out of our experience. It's birthed out of our work. And we want to make sure that we can do it in a way that people will be able to, one, connect with the emotion, but not be so overwhelmed that you can't actually articulate it. And I promise you, I've seen that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk more about that with you, but we'll talk offline. Um, so we often hear that people are brands. Why is this important for speakers?
Yeah. Well, kind of what we just talked about, your brand promise is part and parcel of what you're looking to share. You want to be so grounded in your brand attributes, in what you bring to the conversation, that when you share it, it is not just you speaking, it is something that they can depend on, they can take to the bank. What is your brand promise? Mine is that you'll always get loyalty, you're going to get warmth, and you're going to get, I had somebody tell me one time, and I took this. It was, you are the girl you're the girl who's the guy girl who's friends with the guy next door who will never forget that you're all woman. I'm one of the boys. I really am. I'm a tomboy, always have been, but I'm very, very distinctly a woman.
Yes.
So that is actually part of my brand attribute. So being really clear about who you are, because if you are, then you don't have to worry about whether or not someone will look at you sideways, but that Sue, is she really fearless? Hell yeah. Sue's fearless.
Yes.
Lived it. Yeah.
Which whew, that's
No.
I still have to step into that name on a daily basis. I
Here
you know
for
I
that, Sue.
yes, I live up to it every day. um but thank you for that. Yes, that is so true. Definitely we have to know who we are and what we stand for and what we represent, and just in an authentic way, like you said. um so I think we talked a little bit about this, but what ways can entrepreneurs leverage their work with public speaking?
In what ways?
In what ways?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times they'll call it selling from the stage. Are you selling a book? Are you talking about your book? Are you extrapolating some of the juju from your book so that people get a chance to experience it, and then they're going to want to buy your book? So many, many times when we talk about entrepreneurs leveraging their background for the work that they're doing, we're really talking about selling from the stage. And we're talking about building a 360 approach to your business. You may be a speaker who also does volunteer work, who also does this. How can we strategically tie those things together in a way that supports your business and allows you to talk about your business from the stage? So it's how can these things work together? How can they complement one another?
Okay, so I think we have about maybe like 5 to 7 minutes. So these questions are really important, and I want you to touch on them real quick. The first one is, what do speakers need to launch their careers?
A killer talk. You need a talk that's going to hit all the beats, that's going to give your audience a call to action that is undeniable, something that they'll walk away with and say, oh my gosh, I can actually take what she shared, and we call it your gift, to take what you shared and then apply it to my life, to my circumstance, to move me forward, to transform me. That's why they're transformational speakers. So you have to have an incredible keynote talk.
Yes.
And then there are other things. You need a great sizzle reel. You need a speaker one sheet. You need your speaker package. But all of those things are birthed out of this talk. You can't have a sizzle reel until you have some tape. And you can't
Right.
have a tape, you can't have tape that you're going to want to share until you have that really great talk. Because anybody that's looking at your sizzle reel is going to be looking, don't give me panels, don't give me interviews, because all you're doing is responding to me. Show me how you hold the room.
Right.
If you can hold the room, we can talk. But
Yes.
if you can't do that, I'm going to be like, next.
Right.
So yeah, me having that great talk and being able to deliver it in a undeniable transformational way.
Yes. I like that. I like that. Okay. So last but not least, um, let's talk a little bit about your coaching business and what type of clients do you accept on the consulting side?
Okay, all right. Well, you know, consulting is very, very labor intensive. We're talking about taking someone who has a great breadth of background and creating brand-based initiatives that can speak to people and speak for this person and be a natural extension of them and their experience. And so we're really, really prescriptive on who we take in on that side of the business, but we will always help you to create a strategy and to not just create the strategy, but make sure that there is an actual framework around it that you can activate or you can have someone activate on your behalf. You know, we all have different levels of experience when it comes to marketing and PR and things of that nature. But branding is branding and strategy is strategy. And so we do help some of our clients build their consulting strategy, or build their speaker strategy, I should say, as part of our consulting business. But to take someone on as an actual client in that arena, you got to bring it. You got to bring it. So it is competitive. It is competitive, but we can always have that strategy work to get you up and rolling.
Okay. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm claiming
All
it.
right, Capricorn.
I'm claiming it. Yes. Oh my God,
I'm
Leslie. But this was so amazing. Thank you. Thank Renise. You know, for again supporting the platform. I truly appreciate it. You know, we're doing a lot of great things and we're working with a lot of women, and I know that they appreciate, you know, all of these conversations that we're having. I know they're taking tidbits of it and applying it to their own lives. So I'm super, super grateful. And I'm grateful for everyone who was on here tonight. My takeaways were lead with authenticity, because I say that all the time. I believe that if you walk into any room and you're walking in your truth and you're being authentic and your intention is authenticity, then everything, you know, the energy is going to flow. You're going to be able to network properly. You're going to be able to make connections. It's all going to flow well. Because I know sometimes I get nervous, but I just tell myself, just be you. That's it. That's it. And I like the conversation about the breakdown of the speech. I think that's super important. And when we're writing our speeches, let's not be long-winded. Let's actually have structure. And I take that note to myself as well. Be present. Be present, guys. Be in the moment. Also, your mindset is super important, as Leslie mentioned, and Renise focuses heavily on. And the last thing that I took away was, can you hold the room? Yes. That is what I'm going to think about every day. Can you hold the room? And I'm going to work towards that place where I can hold the room. And I hope that you guys are as well.
It's the difference between the good and the great.
Yes. So we have about a minute and 40 seconds. I just want you to leave everyone with your last thoughts and share whatever you want.
Well, you know what? My last thoughts really are about you, Sue. I love the work that you're doing. I love that you are supporting women and empowering them and showing up as your true and honest self. Hey, I do this well. I struggle here. Here it is. And people can see you doing the work. They can see you doing the work. that's beautiful, and it's aspirational, and it's something that we all get to aspire to. So thank you for having us, and hey, thank you for hanging in with the technical difficulties.
Yes.
We got there, and I hope that I was able to articulate the things that I know Renise really wanted to share. She has a heart for this work. She has a heart for the people that we work with, and the hours that she works are just, whew, it's off the hook. But
Yeah.
with that comes great reward, and so we just feel really grateful. And I think you landed it. Just be still, be in your truth, because when we're in our truth, we will always win. We
Yeah.
win, and everybody that we touch wins.
Thank you so much for those words. I really appreciate it. And I'm super grateful. I'm super grateful for you both.